All right, so we're going to be doing slope, and on the first page of your notes, we're going to be figuring out what slope is. So to find the slope, basically that's the steepness of a line. So we're actually going to be saying how steep a line is, and we're actually going to be giving it a number. So to find the steepness of a line on a graph, you use the ratio rise over run. Okay, and basically what you do is you count from one point to the next how far you would have to rise and divide it by how far you would have to run. Um, Make sure you're using whole points. Don't use any, fraction points or decimal points. And if points are not given, you can choose your own. So a few examples. Find the slope of each line. All you have to do is count from one point to the next. Okay, we're going to do rise over run. So from this point here to this point here, we're going to count the rise over the run. So to get from point A to point B, I'd have to rise 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then I'd have to run 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I would do is I do rise over run. Okay, the rise is 4, the run is 4, and then I have to simplify that fraction. So what's 4 divided by 4? Well, that's 1. Okay, and there you go. You just found the slope. All you have to do is count. All right. So let's do example 2 from point A to point B, and it really doesn't matter which point you choose, but I always just like to go left to right because that's how we read. So from this point to get to the next point, we'd have to go down 2. Now here's the important thing. Because you had to go down 2, make sure you say that's negative 2. That actually is very important to distinguish between negative and positive. Because if it's a negative slope, we want to know that. And then I'd have to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I run 6. All right. And what I do is I do rise over run. So the rise was negative 2, the run was 6, so negative 2 over 6. And then simplify that fraction. Just simplify it like 2/6. What does 2/6 simplify to? I would simplify to 1/3, so this simplifies to negative 1/3. Not so bad, right? All right, now on this one, they didn't give us any points. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to choose a few points here. Okay, and I'm going to pick point A and point B. Okay, and if we look, we had to, from point A to point B, we had to rise. Well, we didn't rise at all. We just kind of went straight across. So we actually rose 0, and then we ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5. So when we do our slope, it's 0 over 5, because we didn't rise at all, but we ran 5. And then what does 0 over 5 simplify to? That simplifies to just 0. So the slope is 0. And now over here, okay, let's pick 2 points. Okay, if you don't have points, you can pick any point you want. It should still work out to be the same thing. And how far did we have to rise? Well, it looks like from point A to point B, we went down 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's negative 4. And then we don't run at all. So that's just a run of 0. So we actually have rise was negative 4, run was 0, so negative 4 over 0. Now, if you type that in the calculator, what do you get? You actually get error because you can't divide by 0. Well, the same thing works out here. Whenever you have over 0, that slope is actually undefined because we can't divide by 0, so we can't define that slope. Okay, so 4 different examples of slope we just saw up above. You could have positive slope, which shows the graph from left to right. It's going up as you read it from left to right. We could also have negative slope, which as you're reading from left to right, the graph goes down. You could have 0 slope, and that's like example 3 here. Okay, that's just a horizontal line. Okay, so it's flat, it's 0. And then you can also have undefined slope, which is like example 4, a vertical line. Okay, so positive slopes up, negative slopes down, 0 is flat, undefined straight up and down.